Alright guys, so today, before we get started on the video, I just wanted to thank all the support that I've got up to this point. You know, I've hit 20 subscribers, which to most people that is absolutely nothing. But for me, you know, I've been growing my channel specifically with YouTube only. I don't use any other social media. I've only been growing on YouTube. So the fact that I've gotten 20 subscribers without any additional help from any other platforms really just shows me that the people who are subscribing are enjoying the content, they're enjoying the actual work that I'm making. So I appreciate all of that. I wanted to get into some additional things about the channel. So with that being said, a lot of my videos that I've been posting recently have not gotten as much traction, have not gotten as many views, and I'm starting to question myself. Is it the quality of the content? Am I not making the content that people want to see? Maybe I'm not titling the videos correctly. You know, it gets a little discouraging, so I'm doing my best and I hope that you guys enjoy this video and stay tuned. However, all of my videos now, I am just wanting to announce that I want to be doing giveaways to give back to you guys. I'm trying to build a community here. So what I would like to do is at 100 subscribers, I would like to do a giveaway. At 500 subscribers, I would like to do a giveaway. And at 1,000 subscribers, I would like to do a giveaway. And then we can plan giveaways accordingly. Past that point, I don't want to stop doing them, but I have specific channel goals and I want to make sure people are liking the content that I am putting the time into, because I really want to do this for you guys. You know, give back to the community that I love. Without further ado, let's go ahead, get into today's video. All right, so today I want to be taking a look at something a lot of you guys have probably already seen. I've been curious about myself, so I wanted to take a look at two products today. If you've been into an AutoZone, there's no doubt that you've seen this before. So one of the products is Rustoleum vinyl spray. Now this would be the second vinyl spray that I'm familiar with. I wouldn't say a long time ago, but 2 years ago or so, they came out with a product called Auto Dip. You know, Plasti Dip has been out for a while now, but Auto Dip was not a rubberized coating, it was a vinyl spray. So Auto Dip is now rebranded. Now they're now called Superwrap. If you Google Auto Dip, you'll still get Superwrap, and on their packaging and all that stuff, it does say Auto Dip still. So I wanted to try this product for a really long time. I like vinyl wrap, I love paint, I love color, I love adding that little custom flavor to it. So I went on their website, they were having a clearance on Gymkhana green, and I was like, I love lime green, I love that color, you know, I love that vibrant neon green. And so I was like, I'm gonna get this and I wanna compare it to the new stuff that every time I go into AutoZone, it grabs my attention, but I've never tried it. What I have is two motorcycle wheels from an old bike that I used to have. They were an extra set of wheels because the bike that I bought was a track bike. If anybody knows me, they know I love motorcycles. I cycle through them a lot. You know, I'm looking to get some new ones and I want to focus on motorcycles with my channel. So if you're interested in that, please go down and subscribe. You know, stay tuned. Hopefully I can get one of those soon. But I got a lot of projects that I'm working on right now. Obviously, you know, I'm on my own funds and I'm still working on getting everything like that taken care of. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to check these wheels. I've prepped them, I've masked them off, and I wanted to test a few different things about this product and pin them against each other and see which one potentially has the better quality. So one thing that I actually did want to mention, so when I'm comparing these products, I'm actually going to be comparing them with several different factors. So the first is going to be the finish. I want to see how the finish comes along, and we will compare the two. Peelability, so after it is sprayed, we will peel it off and see, you know, how it actually held up. Does it peel off easy? And then durability as well. So we're going to test the durability of it. Maybe I'll try to scratch it, or I'll throw something at it, see if I can mimic like rock chips or something like that. Another thing that I did want to test with this is They recommend, at least with the Superwrap, they recommend that you actually take the wheels off to spray them. Now this is because you want to spray the face, but then you also want to spray the backside as well. So what this does is it causes all of the spray to become one adhesive unit to the front and the back. However, I'm not going to be doing that. So what I'm looking for is how does this product actually work if you leave your wheels on your vehicle? So you're not going to be getting the backside. Maybe you'll cover off the rotors and the brake calipers and things of that nature, but you're not going to get that full coverage all the way to the back. So I'm only going to spray one side, and then we'll flip it over and we'll actually see how it actually looks on the backside. So if it looks good and it's still durable, you know, maybe you can just leave these on your vehicle and you can spray them instead of taking all four off, spraying the front, spraying the back, and it'll actually probably save you some product as well. So we're gonna test it that way. Now, I do believe that this is gonna cause it to peel off harder because it's gonna look more overspray towards the back, where the face and everything will look good, but the back will kind of look a little splotchy and things of that nature, so it won't peel off so well. So that's kind of what I'm expecting, but we'll go ahead and test it so that you guys know if you can just spray the face when you do it on your vehicle, or if you can potentially do just the face. All right, so these are the two wheels that I'm gonna be working with today. They're just some spares that I've had laying around for a long time. I haven't really known what to do with them. You know, so if you guys are actually interested, they came off a ZX9R. I believe they're 17-inch wheels, so if you guys are interested in that, you know, let me know. Maybe we can set something up. So the first thing, with this wheel, I had to do some sanding right here. Somebody put duct tape over the wheel weights, and so that was not coming off. It's been on there for a long time, so I sanded that down to try to get the best finish that I could. You know, it's got some adhesive right here I couldn't really get off, and after trying it for a little while, I didn't really care to. This one is in better shape. I've got them all cleaned. Now, normally I wouldn't do the taping because I don't really care about this, and I am kind of curious to see how this product comes off of the rubber. However, one of the things that I did want to test is for people who actually do care about this kind of stuff, I would want them to be able to see how easily you can peel this off, because I know I've had issues with Plasti Dip before where you start to peel the tape and it actually peels up your paint job. So, you know, these peelable paints have that, and I know with the instructions on the Superwrap, it actually says to take a razor blade to it and go along the edges before you do that. So we are going to take a look at these two. So we're going to take a look at these two products. I got one white of each. Now I messed up here because this was on clearance, so I bought it, I wanted to try it. So I thought that this came in a green because Rustoleum has a lime green color that they just recently came out with, and every time I saw it, I thought it was the vinyl wrap. However, it is not. So when I saw this online, I was like, cool, I'll go with the green and we can compare greens. But Rustoleum only has white, red, and black, I believe. So far, they don't have any new colors that I've seen, where the Superwrap has a lot more colors available. So first point goes to Superwrap for more colors. We're gonna go ahead and follow each one of these with the directions that they say. So we're not going to use the same instructions unless they're the same on this one. So I know specifically when I was looking at this, I don't know if you guys will be able to see this. So that says mask off the areas, and it says, let's see, allow 10 to 15 minutes. Where did I see it? Give you guys a second to read that. I'll pause that on screen and we'll look at that. I'll look at that off camera and kind of go through that. And then we will look at, anyway. So we'll go over the instructions a little bit more in the video, and I'll kind of tell you guys the difference between what I'm seeing on the instructions. Now I know that these are gonna have to be laid very thick because you want peelability. Now this is why I got the white on top of the color, because these are both very bright, you know, colors that are gonna need a base. So because my wheels are darker, these colors will be muted if I don't add a base of white. And I know that I can get the thickness without having to use so much of the color if I start with white. So I wanted to do the same on both, where we did a white base coat that's very thick, potentially using most of this can. I guess we'll see how far they go. I know they recommend like 4 cans or something like that to do an entire set of 4 wheels. So maybe a can a wheel is what they say. And this, when I got this online, it did recommend doing a white base coat. So we'll go ahead and take a look at that. And price-wise, I got this at AutoZone. You could probably find it cheaper, but I think it was $10.99 per can. So I'm, you know, around 22 bucks here. With this, it was very similar. So they're very similar in price. However, you can't find this in store. So because you can't find this in store, you're going to be paying for shipping if you get this small amount. So I ended up paying around 20 something bucks for this, and then I had to pay shipping, which brought it around $30, where this only cost me 22 and I got to pick it up same day. I waited for this for over a week. So I ordered this. I wanted to wait to get this, and then after this came in the mail, I went and got this. And you know, so there's a point there for the Rustoleum that it's readily available. You can just go and get it at the store, where this, you're going to be waiting for it. So yeah, there's a little bit of positives for both that we've seen so far. So we'll go ahead and start spraying them. Like I said, I've already prepped. So your prep is going to be really important when you're doing spray, especially with this. It's not going to hide any like perfection. So like with this, I know we're probably still going to be able to see it. So don't judge the quality that I get around here on the product itself. So looking at the instructions for Superwrap, this is what I have more faith in. It is the first vinyl spray that was available on the market that's not a rubberized spray like Plasti Dip. Now, looking at the instructions, this is where it says 10 wet coats, 10. That's going to be for durability and peelability. So 10 wet coats, quite a bit of coats on here. And I'm wondering if I need to do 5 and 5 of the green. So we'll go ahead and see how much coverage we actually have. And maybe it's just 10 wet coats total if that's the color that you're going for. So we'll see how much coverage we actually have with only 5 to begin with. Now we have a 15-minute drying period between coats. So if you're doing 10 coats and they want you to wait 15 minutes between coats, then you're looking at, it takes quite a lot of time to get it done. So this is at 70 degrees, so maybe it's a little bit quicker. So maybe we'll give 10 minutes between each coat, and we'll just take a look and see how it looks, see if it's dry to the touch, that kind of stuff. Now after the final coat has dried, that is when you remove the tape. So when you buy this stuff, you actually get some instructions. They will email you. There's instructions online. They're very specific in their instructions, and they want to make sure that you know that, because they want to make sure that you get the best results and the best quality for the work that you're doing. I think that this is 2 parts. Obviously, they want to show you that they have a good product, but they're also trying to protect their brand. They don't want people to put this stuff on incorrectly and then blame the product when they didn't follow the direction. So they heavily stress the importance of the instructions. So you'll get an instruction paper in with your box. You're gonna get an email with instructions too when you buy this stuff. So they're making sure. So we'll shake the can for, it says vigorously for 1 minute. And we'll go ahead and get that done in here in just a second. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Rustoleum. So we'll start with the white as well. Again, this is our base coat to really help that color pop. So it says shake can for 1 minute after the mixing ball rattles. So again, it's pretty common for them saying shake it continuously for 1 minute in spray paint and this kind of stuff as well. Same thing, 70 degrees is the flash time for coats. Allow more time in cooler temperatures, be dry to the touch in 30 minutes, handle in 2 hours. Okay, so reading the instructions real quick. The one thing that I see here is that it actually says that it is, this is meant to be temporary and removed within 6 months. So they probably cover themselves legally, you know, making sure that you know that this is not a permanent product and it is not going to hold up. So that's one thing that I did not know before buying this that is interesting. And then they say use acetone or something if you need any additional help getting it off. And this is only claiming 4 coats. So that may have something to do with the fact that they're saying that it's not as durable and it is only supposed to be temporary. So they're basically letting you know that it takes less than it does with the Superwrap. But, you know, if you want it to be on there for a really long time and not just like maybe a car show or something that you're going to be going to soon, then, you know, potentially going with something else. Let's check the Superwrap and see if they say the same thing. A couple things as well with the Superwrap. It says, so you can install the wheels or drive your car 6 to 12 hours. A lot of times this happens with Plasti Dip and things of that nature, when you put your lug nuts back on. What it does is you start putting your lug nuts back on and it twists the product and it causes it to peel. So it's gonna peel it back if you put your lug nuts on. Hopefully that doesn't happen with this if you wait that time frame. So 6 hours to 12 hours before you actually put your wheels back on. So you're gonna be, you know, having your car on jack stands for quite a bit of time. And it also says that this is not recommended for plastic. So it's recommended for metals and clear coat specifically. So both of these products have, you know, their differences. However, Rustoleum seems like it's going to be just a temporary thing, whereas the Superwrap, they want you to put on a lot of it. They want you to make sure it's fully cleared before you actually put it back on. And so, you know, I'm assuming that the durability on this is going to last over time. Whereas, especially on wheels and things of that nature, if you're power washing them and that kind of stuff, you know, both of these potentially will fail. Oops. So let's go ahead and shake them up. We'll start spraying them. I haven't decided if I want to just do one at a time or if I want to do both. We'll probably do both, and what I'm thinking, but when we start spraying, maybe we'll reevaluate that. So let's go ahead, cue the time-lapse camera and the music. So because you gotta lay that stuff on pretty thick, that took me a lot longer than I thought, you know, doing coats after coats, making sure that, you know, when it does peel off, that it's gonna peel off a lot better. But, you know, as you can see, I think it came out really good, and we'll take a look at it tomorrow. You know, we'll let it hold up for a little bit, you know, fully cure. Right now it's still pretty pliable, you know, it's dry to the touch for the most part, but it's still a lot weaker, so we're gonna go ahead and let it cure for a little bit. You know, I'll take a look at it tomorrow. As you can see, the green one does look like it's gonna be a lot glossier than the red. So kind of like I expected, the Superwrap does have a higher quality, higher gloss finish than the Rustoleum. So, you know, that is kind of what I expected. And the Rustoleum was a little bit easier to spray. It took less coats. However, I like the way the Superwrap sprays. Actually, it does spray a little bit better. You can tell that it's specifically made for metal, the way that it was bonding to the metal, versus when I was test spraying it on the cardboard, it would just like run right off. It wouldn't stick with that as well. So yeah, I do think that it's gonna still end up being a little bit glossier than the Rustoleum, but we will go ahead and check it tomorrow, see if the same, you know, see if it looks the same after it's, you know, all said and done. All right, so it has been 24 hours. I have let both the wheels cure a little over than what is recommended. The Rustoleum only takes, I think, 4 hours to cure, I believe, something like that. And the Superwrap was recommended at 6 to 12 hours. So we've had plenty of time for both of them to cure. So let's take a look at both of them. We'll run a couple tests on them, and then we'll peel them off, and we'll decide who is the winner. Okay, so I hope you guys will be able to see this in the video. So this is the Rustoleum. One thing that I notice is when I'm feeling it, now this wheel is textured, so some of the texture is from the wheel itself. And then, you know, right here, it was fairly smooth, and you can see, you know, it's smooth, it's a little glossy, but it definitely feels more rubberized than the Superwrap. So first thing that I notice is more of like a satin than a actual gloss finish, but it does have some gloss, where Plasti Dip would have little to no gloss. We got the overspray on the tires, and you can, you know, feel the difference. I'm assuming this will come off with like some acetone or something like that, so I'm not gonna worry so much about this right now. It does peel a little bit where it's, you know, where it's a little bit thicker, but, you know, so we peel some of that off. And we'll take a look at the back side. And just like I thought, clearly if we don't do a backside, then this is not one cohesive unit. So when you try to peel it, especially where it's more like overspray here, this is not gonna peel off with the majority of it. So this is the downside to not spraying both sides and causing the product to be one whole piece. So this is kind of how it looked. You know, all of this stuff is not gonna peel. So that's something to keep in mind if you only wanna do the face of it. It does seem hard, but you can see my fingernails are not too long, and it didn't take much to really scratch on that. So, you know, this one, it turned out okay, but I think it's more like Plasti Dip than actual vinyl spray. So, you know, that's one thing to keep in mind when you're looking at this kind of stuff. This stuff was very easy to spray. It was very forgiving, so I didn't have any runs in it. I didn't really have any issues with it spraying. And then if like a little bit of specks came out of the nozzle or something, you know, they're not showing in the full finish after. And this is 8 full coats, 4 coats of white, 4 coats of the red, and this is how it turned out. Now over here, we have the Superwrap. Now the Superwrap, you can see much glossier and it has a very smooth finish. You guys probably, it's probably hard to tell, but this is very, very smooth. Same with right here, feels more like paint. And then obviously the wheel over here and stuff is textured. So, you can kind of see that, but that would happen with paint or anything like that. It feels hard. Let's do the same scratch test. So you can see just that scratch test that I did on the other one. It's not happening with this one. So durability, I'm gonna say that this one is going to be more durable, for sure. Now this one has 10 full coats. It has 5 of the white, 5 of the green, and I made sure they were very wet. Now the thing about this stuff is it is not as forgiving as the Rustoleum. So I did get a run in it somewhere. If I can find it, I'll show you guys. But I did get a run in it, and it wasn't too bad. However, I had to spray over that area, which caused it to be a little thicker in the area, but it hit it very well. So it's hidden, and I can't even find it at my first glance. So I know it was in here, but it looks like with the product, it was able to hide it. So with that being said, the finish I would definitely have to give to the Superwrap, and durability I'm gonna have to give to Superwrap as well. Also, they have a lot more colors, but it does require more product than the Rustoleum to get full coverage. When I was spraying this, it did kind of spray out some globs that were very noticeable with the light coats because it came out very dark. The globs were a lot darker than the light coats that I had on it to begin with. But then when I started spraying the last couple coats and they were going on thicker, it came out a lot smoother and it got rid of all of those. So, so far I'm very, very impressed with this product. I am actually blown away. It's so glossy, it has such a good finish. It clearly has the durability. You saw that I did the little scratch on the other one with the same finger, and I can't even get it to scratch. So, especially for your wheels, I think that this is going to look so much better. I think it will last longer. I don't have any doubt that this product actually would be totally fine with power washing and all of that stuff. So I think that the Superwrap is definitely going to take the cake on this one. And just from you guys being able to see, I think that that is clear. Now taking a look on the back side, like I was saying previously, it's more oversprayed on the back. It's not even close to as smooth. This probably would just take some acetone or something to get off. So I definitely recommend spraying the back side of it and making it one cohesive unit so that when you pull it off, it comes off completely. But, with doing just the front, you can't really see back there. And I think that if you did do this while it was on your car, you can actually be assured that it's going to have the coverage that you need and it's going to have the durability on the face, and it's not going to cause you much issues with like the overspray on the back. So there's 2 ways to do it. Obviously, I recommend doing it the correct way and doing the back side of it as well. But I mean, just look at the difference. It's a night and day difference, and I hope it comes up on camera, but it's just the green one is awesome. I love this stuff. Definitely recommend. Now I understand why the Rustoleum is saying that, it is only temporary and it'll last for, maybe up to 6 months. As you can see, I just did the little scratch test on it and it failed that test pretty bad. I wasn't even actually trying to scratch it. With that being said, this stuff does stick really well. It didn't have any runs or anything like that. The spray was very forgiving when I was spraying it, but I get why this actually sticks to more surfaces than the Superwrap does. The Superwrap says that it must stick to an OEM clear coat, so it's not going to be, it would have to be like an enamel clear coat, not like a lacquer clear coat where it's a softer clear coat, because it's, you know, it's not going to stick as well. When I was spraying the Superwrap on the box to test my pattern before I sprayed, that stuff started running immediately, where this stuff actually was sticking to the box, more like spray paint. So you can tell that this stuff actually has more adhesion. This is more particular about what it will adhere to. But with that being said, it's gonna give you that finish that you want. All right, so we're gonna do the last 2 tests on it. I'm gonna get like a nail or something, a screw, and I'm gonna try to scratch it and see which one scratches easier. I know the Rustoleum will scratch easier because I already scratched it with my finger and it already caused it to peel. So, you know, the screw may scratch the Superwrap and then we'll peel it off. And, you know, I cannot express to you how much I love the Superwrap. I love that stuff. I think it's awesome. So I was thoroughly surprised and impressed with that product. I like it. I definitely recommend it. And paying that little bit of extra to get it to ship was definitely worth it. So anytime in the future, if I'm doing anything on the car or if I'm doing anything on the truck where I can use that stuff, I will. A screw, just drag it along. There's already scratches in it. Take it over here. Same amount of pressure. No scratches. Maybe a little bit, but honestly, you wouldn't even be able to tell. Whereas like with this stuff, it's very clear. Comes up on camera, so that just shows you that even like when I see it on my side, it, you know, you can see these a lot more. Can't even see them on this. So definitely durability, giving it to Superwrap. So there it is. They both peel off about the same. This one was breaking a little bit more. Once I got an actual good piece going here, I was able to take most of it off in one piece. Whereas this one, you know, keeps breaking, but you know, they both leave those little pieces. So I can't really say that one was easier than the other. All right, well, there you have it, guys. I hope that that was informative. I hope that helped you guys make the decision of, you know, if you are thinking about doing some spraying with peelable paint, I wouldn't even go with Plastidip. I don't really like Plastidip. I don't really like using it. I like glossy finishes, you know, but depending on what you're spraying, you might not be able to use the Superwrap. It might not come out as good. But if you're doing wheels and that kind of stuff, definitely recommend it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. It was a lot of work to get that sprayed on there just to peel it off. But, you know, I do this for you guys. I hope that you know, enjoy and appreciate the content and, you know, get down there and hit that subscribe button and stay tuned. Watch all my other videos and stay tuned for more. Appreciate it, guys.